We are in the Bordeaux dining room, and what have you ordered out? You've got a melon?
It's roasted pineapple and melon.
Okay.
With a molasses, I think it's molasses and, oh my god, it's so tangy, balsamic vinegar dressing. So you can taste the molasses, and the balsamic vinegar is very tart.
Okay.
Really unusual flavours.
Lovely. Lovely. Well, I had the gravlax, smoked gravlax with, I think it was radish. Was it radish? It was radish, wasn't it? So that looks beautiful, actually.
Some caviar.
Yeah.
You have got the dreaded beetroot in there.
Yeah, I don't like beetroot. I'll take that out.
Take that out.
Yeah, our next course has arrived. You have got
the very expensive lettuce.
You did, actually. That lettuce, that's more expensive than the gravlax or the prawns. This is going to date. Once lettuce becomes available, this is going to date. Anyway, so I had the chicken and sweet corn soup. I must say, I'll turn this around. I must say the gravlax with the radish and the caviar was absolutely beautiful, and this soup looks good too. So we'll tuck in and we'll see if this is as good as the first course, main course.
Food again. This is all we're talking about. This is the food section. Okay, so this was stir-fry noodles with vegetables. I'm going to just move it away so that you can see what's underneath it. This is crispy noodles on top, soft noodles underneath. Oh, it looks lovely. Nice and moist, nice and flavoursome, with a soy sauce. So I don't know how hot this is going to be. You know, hot as in spicy hot. I have a nice slice of lime to go on top. Just to freshen it up. Yours looks spectacular.
I had a light main. I had some Cabernet beef ribs with horseradish, mashed potato and roasted vegetables, which looks and smells absolutely gorgeous. If we had smell-o-vision, you would think the same. Smell-o-vision. I don't know whether that's really a thing. Anyway,
it will be someday. I think they'll have smell-o-vision. I think what it'll actually be, because they've talked about smell-o-vision for years. My thoughts are that it will come because you smell like all your other senses. Is only your brain telling you that that's what you're smelling. So I think you'll have like a little chip maybe in your nose, like they've got these things that
you want to put a chip up your nose.
Just a little tiny one, and then it'll tell your brain to tell you that smells like beef.
It's interesting. That's futuristic.
Yes.
Anyway, before this goes cold, let's tuck into these.
Yeah, roll over, Elon. They've actually given me a spoon, so it's like spaghetti, so I'm actually going to eat this like spaghetti. And wrap it around. It did say it came with a broth, and I was expecting them to pour a broth over it, to be honest. Lots of ginger. Delicious, lots of ginger in that.
Beautiful. And to round it all off, Alison's got a raspberry sorbet.
Raspberry sorbet. I'll tell you now. I'm ready for that. Very icy, very sharp,
brain freeze.
So raspberry-ish. it's delicious.
Beautiful. Well, I have a very artistic looking plate of brie and gouda, which will finish my meal off very nicely.
That's a lot of cheese. There's a lot of cheese on the plate.
Actually, there's three pieces of cheese. Yes, it's quite a lot of cheese.
They're big hunks.
Especially after the huge meal we just had. Okay, let's finish this. Oh, it's been absolutely, can't complain at all.
No.
Fabulous meal. Yep. Alrighty. Here in the Bordeaux restaurant again. This is a different place from the other side from where we were last night. And we asked for a table just for the two of us in order that we could plan our day. And what they do with the tables for the two of us, and they did this last night, is that the tables are very close together. I'll show you.
It's just an arm's width between them.
Yeah.
Which it's nice to say good morning to people, but when you're planning things out, and the couple next to us, they were doing the same. It just feels rude that if you ignore them because you're so close.
It's very close, yeah.
And if you say good morning, you strike up a conversation, it kind of then defeats the purpose. So yeah, I think even just a little bit further apart makes it so that you're not awkward with people next to you. And nobody is unsociable here. Nobody wants to be that isolated, but yeah, you want to be able to have a conversation or talk. There was a couple next to us last night who started arguing, and bickering. It wasn't arguing, it was just a bit of bickering that most couples do at times. But I looked, and the guy looked me straight in the eye and was just dying 1,000 deaths because it's just too close to have that little bit of nagging.
He took it out there, and he didn't respond.
No. So sometimes you just need that little bit of a distance.
Anyway. We'll just do a quick zip around because it's quite quiet. We were the last people in. We just made it in this morning at, well, not say what time it is, but we just made it in.
The head waiter
closed the door behind us.
Yeah, and allowed Robert in on the promise that he would do the dishes. Robert's now looking for the escape exit.
So this is a quick pan around the dining room, and while we wait for our breakfast to arrive.
Now the menu is put together, so it starts with fruit, cereals, yogurts, and then it'll say from the grill. But the way it's done, it looks as though there's sort of no commas between what you have, and it looks as though that is the menu suggestion. So it's from the grill. It said pancakes, a slice of bacon, some sort of special sausage, and a hash brown. So it looked as though that was the suggested dish, and then there wasn't anything else that would suggest that you could have a sort of a cooked traditional English breakfast. And then Rob asked, and yeah, basically if it's listed anywhere on that menu,
mix and match.
You just mix and match as you go, which is fantastic. Yeah, so don't think that you're limited on what you can have, and they are so accommodating.
Yep.
They don't make you feel like piggies, do they?
Even if you are.
They actually encourage you to have more food.
All right, we'll wait and see what it arrives.
And you can get your special coffees. So normally in the restaurants, every cruise I've been on, you get the tea and the coffee out of the teapot or the coffee pot, and you get that really bog standard. I asked for a coffee, and they said, "Do you want a cappuccino?" I went, "Oh, right, okay then." And I got it with soy milk, the full works. Asked for a big cup of it, and they were like, "That's fine, no problem." So that's a real change on cruises. That makes a difference to me. So a proper coffee with my breakfast.
So our first course of breakfast has arrived. Alison's had some papaya. It's a plate of papaya. And I had a yogurt, which is very pleasing to see it in a little bowl instead of just a tub.
This is papaya and melon, and they've actually given me the three sorts of melon.
Okay. Beautiful.
Yeah.
Yes, on the P&O ships have been on before. You get a tub of yogurt, but this time it's in a nice little bowl. Strawberry. Lovely. So Alison's still finishing her fruit, but my breakfast has arrived. Just exactly as ordered, and it's a big plateful. This will keep me going till lunch. I ordered some hash brown with eggs, bacon and sausage. I was hoping to cram in some afternoon tea as well, because they do afternoon tea, but we'll see how we go. We might just go along for a look rather than actually have the afternoon tea, but we'll see how the time goes. Alison ordered some scrambled egg and asparagus. And some toast, which is still coming.
Isn't that lovely? There's about 4 eggs on that.
Mm.
The asparagus is a nice touch. Can't go wrong.
Okay, so tonight we're trying the Provence restaurant, which is the other main dining restaurant. It's pretty much the same. Give you a quick squiz around. So it's pretty much the same. Menu tonight looks very nice.
Is this on me?
It is on you.
Little on me.
No, just a little on
This
you.
is a nice corner.
It is a nice corner,
Lovely.
actually.
Yeah, we're like in our own little private corner, which is nice. And the menu tonight is very different. Sometimes these things on set menus start to get very samey. So this is going to be hard to choose, I think.
But I have already chosen. I am going to have the bacon wrapped pork terrine. I'm looking at the menu. Bacon wrapped pork terrine with the pea soup, which is a recommendation, and the prime rib, which is also a recommendation from our waitress tonight, Maureen, and our drinks waiter is Andy, who is bringing us some nice drinks as we speak. What are you having then?
So,
what did you decide on?
I decided on the fresh fruits, which looks delicious.
Lovely.
Mixture of fresh fruits. There's some nuts in there as well, and a little sprig of mint, fresh from the garden. What have you got, Robert?
I had the bacon wrapped pork terrine.
Let's have a closer look.
Looks absolutely beautiful, actually.
Oh yes, it's nice. Is that a piece of toasted bread?
Oh,
on
sure.
there?
Let's have a look.
Looks like underneath.
Yes,
French
I think
toast?
so. Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
take a
Yes.
mouthful and let us know. Is that pickled vegetables you've got with that?
I have no idea. It's vegetables, obviously. But
It looks like fresh pickled vegetables. What is your opinion?
that is excellent. Very good.
Okay. On to our second course, and I have a delicious salad with a French dressing, French balsamic dressing. And this is lovely. Let's see.
Again, with the lettuce. Jeez, they're splashing out some money
I
on this
know.
cruise, aren't they?
That's the most expensive thing. That's mustard and balsamic, and I have to say tarragon. That's delicious. That's really good. And you have got
I have got pea soup with pancetta chips. Yes, and I've actually had a taste of it, but I will have another taste.
whoops, got headless pea soup. That's a strange reaction for a pea soup.
I know, it's definitely pea. And it's like a pureed mushy peas. It's like pureed mushy peas.
Okay, but it's not like a baby food. Is it tasty?
No, it's lovely. Yeah, it's not quite what I expected, but it's like a pureed mushy peas.
Okay, I'm still not convinced that actually means delicious, but there you go.
There's some garlic in there, which is
Okay.
yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, the garlic's come through now. Absolutely beautiful.
Okay. So for my main, I got the pea soup, but without the pancetta. So I'm going to give my verdict now on the pea soup.
I think I know what she's going to say.
I'll taste the garlic. I'll need some salt in it. Yeah, it is just like it is just blended mushy pea soup. It's not unpleasant, but it's not.
It's nice.
Yeah, it needs a little bit more stock in it. It needs a bit more stock flavour. It's just pea flavour.
It's pea soup.
Yeah, I'm gonna
Anyway,
jazz it up a little bit.
I had prime rib. Look at this, and I had medium rare, which is a little bit less than medium rare, but still cooked to exactly as I like it, with some horseradish. I am happy with my choice.
Come closer.
This is superb. Yeah, there are 1,400 people on this ship. Now, I don't know how many have ordered the rib, but it doesn't really matter. how they asked me how I wanted it cooking, and I told them how I wanted it cooking. How can they cook prime rib to order for 1,400 people? Now, Alison has come up with an idea. She thinks they basically sear it, slice it, and then cook it to order for each individual person. But I tell you what, if that's whatever they do, however they do it, this is superb. And it's so tender. It's like, you know, rare meat can sometimes be tough. This is superb. And whatever they do, they're doing it right. So I'm going to tuck into this now. So tender. It's so tender.
We've now just finished our main course, and we were given the dessert menu. And on the left-hand side was the drinks to go with the desserts.
Oh, thank you.
Okay. And we've just had delivered Robert's Grand Marnier. So what we then realised was that they have all the specialty coffees that you can have. Then they have the specialty hot liqueur coffees, and they have everything, all the ones you could want. They're done beautifully in a glass. This is all part of your drinks package that's included. They have a dessert wine. They also have then all the liqueurs that you can have with your dessert or with your coffee. And they also have a vintage port and sherry that you could have with your cheese and biscuits. So you could have your dessert with the dessert wine or with a Grand Marnier. You could then have your cheese and biscuits with a vintage port, and then you could even have the specialty coffee. The only thing missing is the chocolate mince. That's the only thing missing in this perfect meal. Love it. Yes, and you could start off with a glass of champagne. This is absolutely wonderful. And I've had a cocktail delivered to the restaurant. There's no end of delights here on this package. Yeah, beautiful. So there you go. See you later.
Good morning. We had a very big night last night, and it's quite late. In fact, it's after 9 o'clock and still. I think everybody else did the same because there's a big queue for the restaurant at about 20 minutes to 9. Anyway, so we've got a whole day ahead of us. Don't know what's on the list yet. We will have a look.
Good morning. This is the morning after the big night before, and if you've noticed, Robert's and my voice is probably about 10 octaves deeper from all the singing and shouting and dancing. It's weird, isn't it? It sounds really gruff, like we've had 10 whiskies and half a dozen cigars. Anyway, we didn't. We had a good night. We had a fantastic night. And we're going to have a very late breakfast. And the normally very happy waiters are a little bit
Flustered.
They're a bit flustered. And coffee might be about 15 minutes, which is not good when you desperately need the coffee.
That's not a problem.
I asked for 2 and you pretended you didn't hear me. I walked up and ordered me 1. So I'm going to have a very quick breakfast, and then I'm going to dash and go and get another coffee. So what are we going to do today then, Robert?
Well, we've missed the yoga.
Thank you. Oh, look at that. Wow. It's a fruit platter and a half.
Thank you so much.
So Robert's just having a look to see what's on. Anything else?
Acupuncture for pain management. If we're quick.
What was that movie with the pinhead? Oh my God, the horror film where he had all the things, spikes in him. I'll have to think of it. That's what you'd look like. So So Robert today has got his full English, but I think they've forgotten something.
Almost full
haven't they?
English.
Yeah, they've forgotten the beans. However, you did not get the option to have a hash brown today.
No.
Does that go down in your expectations?
Excellent.
You're very
No.
happy with that, isn't
On,
it?
on holiday, I sort of
Bacon is
eat what I'm given.
crispy. It's gorgeous. And I got full English with minus some of the extra bits.
We're in the Provence restaurant. It's a little bit later tonight than on it. Way, here we go.
On fire! Whee! Thank you.
Welcome. Would you like to have some shrimp?
Yes, thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks.
And your Shiraz, huh?
Shiraz, thank you very much.
Enjoy, everyone.
Thank you very much.
Welcome.
So we're a little bit later than we thought, and the reason we're a little bit later is because we spent some time at the art gallery following the art auction today. And I am not going to spoil it. I'm going to let Alison tell you.
You're going to let me spoil it?
Sort of. Although there is one surprise that I'm not going to put on this video, and that will be maybe for a future one. But anyway, I'm not going to say any more. There's one that's not going to go on.
The one that's not going to go on is a very special piece of art. And we ended up buying, we couldn't decide, that's always the way, isn't it? And we felt that the art was so spectacular that we needed two to balance out in the room. And it's by an artist called...
We needed two to make it a collection.
Yes. Yes, to start our collection. By an artist called Create, who signs his name KRE8. And he works in a lot of really bright colours, but the background is in sort of just shades of grey, very, very dull background, and the figures are very dull background in just shades of greys and blacks. And then the colour, it just explodes across the front.
Explosion is a good.
It is a good, yeah. So the colour just explodes, and we instantly, both of us, just took to it. We looked him up, read about him, and yeah, he's influenced by Dali, but it's not what you would recognise as Dali. That was just an influence. So we got two of those, and we also got another one that kind of made us stop in our tracks, and it's sort of like a jazz. It looks like a jazz kind of pianist, and it's from the back. And again, it's sort of, the piano is a bit distorted and there's lots of colour in it. And straight away you get the illusion that it is almost like cutouts laid one on top of the other, so it looks sort of 3D, but in cardboard cutouts. It sounds very bizarre, but it actually it just is a completely different look. And we have a piece of artwork which is I think that was saxophone players, in a very similar style that we got on our honeymoon 5 years ago, that, much to our shame, we've never actually had framed. So when we saw this one, we just went, wow, that's going to complement the one that we got 5 years ago, and we're going to get that one framed now as well. And that was it, wasn't it? That was it.
That was
we had to then stop ourselves because we do love art. We do love getting our art. And I wanted something for work, but it was just getting too expensive, and we had to stop. Yeah. I did want something for the bedroom. Our bedroom just has no pictures up at all, no paintings. And I've been looking for something, and I did want some nude. I just think in a bedroom you can kind of go a little bit more risque. I just wanted something a little bit like that we could put in there, which Robert's not too keen on, but I would like it like quite modern like that, like really vibrant and colourful. Even if it was just a suggestion of that, it doesn't have to be kind of real. And I asked for some tasteful nudes, and they said we haven't got any. And I said, well, how about disgraceful nudes? And they said, no, we haven't got any of those either. So they had nothing on the ship at all to offer me. Thank you so much. Sorry.
Thank you very much.
Apologise for carrying on talking.
Okay.
Register to bid. Bid on a hand painted, one of a kind Libo original.